So I got a request from Joey Frampton. He wanted to know where and how to build the slaughterhouse. I'm going to show here on the map. This was supposed to be a secret location for this base, but is actually at Spectacle Island here. If you're not too familiar with it, I'll zoom out. Vault 111 is right here, and it's all the way southeast of the map. And the best location for it is right here on the island. You get so much room. Before we get into how to build it, I just want to show how this works and why I do it. What we want to do is we're going to hit switch 1. Doors are going to open, turrets are going to kill them all. Nice and good. Alright, switch 2. Oh yeah, come on out. Oh, the invisible guy. Game over for those guys. And the final switch, switch 3. Okay, and that's how that works there. There's a couple of reasons I do this. One of my favorite reasons is these guys are going to have ammo, stim packs, guns, stuff along those lines. We're going to loot them all. Alright, so once I've looted all the bodies, I'm going to go down here. One of my favorite things to do is scrap all the weapons. So we go to the weapon workbench, and we're going to go to craft, and we're going to scrap these. As you see, we're going to get springs, screws, and steel from that. And a little springs, screws, and steel, a little more. We're going to get a bunch of stuff from this one. Holy crap, plastic, silver, nuclear material, crystal, screw, circuitry, glass, fiberglass, and fiber optics. That's nice to get a bunch of materials from this kind of stuff. And another thing you can do is you can go out and sell this stuff. So anything that you don't need from them, you can either go sell it. Obviously things like ammo and stim packs I'm going to hang on to. And the last thing I use this for is I stock up all this armor. I was actually going to take it and make a settlement that's dedicated to gunners. I was going to make it a gunner settlement. Still might do that, so I'll end up using all this armor, either scrapping it or selling it. I'll also have a few videos in the description for materials. Say if you need a lot of materials, I have ways to do it the right way, or I have ways to do it with some cheating and glitches. So if you need materials to build this monstrosity, be sure to check that out. The last and most important thing I want to mention before showing how to build this is you're going to need the Contraptions Workshop DLC, or you're going to need the Far Harbor DLC, because these walls are tall enough to fit the cages in. The regular walls will not be tall enough. I'll be building this in the VR pod, which is available to purchase in the Creation Club. This makes it nice so I don't have to utilize any of my materials from my character. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go into structures. We want to go over till we find warehouse or barn. I'm going to be using warehouse. We're going to find floors. We're going to find this foundation here. We're going to place one down where we want to start. Now when you're placing the foundations, it's not going to be the same as here in the VR world since it's nice and flat. So what you want to do is probably raise them up as high as you can and then build a stairway up to it, which I'll show real quick. So say you build your platform and then boom, your stairs. So now you can go up here and build off of it. Since the VR world's nice and flat, I'm going to start right here. What we want to do is we want to have a 5 by 6. So we have 1, so we're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go 6 this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now what I'm going to do is speed it up and fill this in. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my door on here, so I'm going to be able to get in and out of here from the front. I like this rolling metal door. It comes with the warehouse stuff, which is in the Contraptions Workshop DLC. And what's nice about this is we can throw a switch here and be able to get in and out. So real quick, I'll just throw down a quick generator and we'll find a quick switch right here. Boom. And we'll do some simple electronics right here. We'll just go boop, boop. Now we're able to get in and out safely, right? So say we want to hit the switches while they're all getting slaughtered, we can shut the door and be nice and safe. And if you have the barn structures, you're going to be able to place these walls down, which are found within the walls themselves over a ways. You're going to find these right here, which hold the doors to the barn. So you're able to place these down to be able to get in and out There we go. Right? Will that place? I think it's the other door. There we go. There it is. Look at that. So now we can be able to get in and out this way too. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to place our walls down inside. Grab these regular walls and we're going to place them all around. Well, grab that. Might be a little tricky. But we're going to place them all around and I'm going to speed it up from here. Alright, now you should have walls all the way around just like this. Once we place walls everywhere, we want to go back to floors. We're going to place a couple foundations right here because we want to make a way to be able to get in and out of here. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to place this foundation right behind this wall, delete that wall, place another foundation here, and then delete this foundation. We're going to be able to put our wall back. It's backwards. There we go. Look at that. Now we're going to be able to get up to our second floor. So you can use any stairs you like here. I'm just going to use the warehouse stairs since they're right here. And we're going to go up. We want to go over to here. We're going to find our floors. We want to use the big floors here, the wide floors or the regular floors. I'm going to place a straight line of them all the way like this. Alright. Okay. Now we take these half floors. We'll place them all the way over this way. Right? And now we want to take the regular floor, place them all along just like this again. There we go. And now we want to take our half floors and do the same again here. Okay, now you should be looking at something like this, okay? So while making this video, I found out that I'm not able to place cages in the VR pod. I'm not sure why, but it's kind of frustrating. So what I'm going to do is go into my save and try to show how to place cages that way. Okay, so I'm back at my slaughterhouse here. What we want to do is we want to go in our cages, find the gunner cage, and we want to start placing them down. Now what you want to do is try to get as close to this wall as possible, but stay on this line here. If you see there's this like line right there where the foundation starts, we're going to stick to that line where this is going to go. Go over to the wall, and we're close to the wall as possible. And we want to do the same with this one, close to this one as possible. Look at that. Without going through each other, but touching. Now this third one we're going to place in the center. So right here in between the two foundations on the side of it, boom, right there, and basically in the middle. I'm going to slide it over a little bit. Boom, look at that. Now, I want to do the same with this side. Follow that line right there, and that right there. Okay, now that your cages are placed, we'll get back to power in a minute, but for now, your cages are placed. So we're back in the VR world. What we're going to do is we're going to keep building this upwards. So I'm going to go here and start filling it all the way in again. Alright, now this last one here, you obviously want to put a door down so you're going to be able to get in and out of your second floor. And what you should have should look like this so far. Now the next thing we want to do is we're going to go inside. We're going to remove this floor right here. And we're going to place down a temporary foundation. Now I'm going to go out here and delete that. And we're going to remove that. And we're going to put a floor here. That way eventually we can access our third floor. We're going to place this back. And our wall. Just like that. And we can go over here and we can place another door frame right here. So then we can be able to get in and out this way. And one thing we can do is fill in the front here. So like that. Now we can have a little patio out front. And even turn this into maybe a room. I have this as a big room later on. So as you can see, the power normally goes right here. And that's what we'll do. Next thing we're going to do is place down a row of foundations here, just like this. See that? There it is. One more. And then we're going to place one up here next to this one. Alright. And that's how I'm able to get in and out of mine right here. Very similar. It's not going to be exactly the same, but I'm going to try to stick to how it was built originally. But this is what you should be looking at so far. Now we're going to place our walls all the way around, just like this. Kind of makes it its own little room. And before we do that, I'm going to place this one right here. We're going to show the wire through the wall glitch, right? So say we have a wall here. We'll get rid of this wall so we can get in and out. And we want this wire to go through the wall. I have a video explaining this a little better, but I'll explain it real quick. What you want to do is have the wire highlighted, but look at the connector and press connect wire. For me, it's Y. So now I have this invisible wire, right? And I'm going to be able to run it through the wall right there, just like that. So now I can have my wire run through the wall and still be able to hit my switch. So now we want to start working on our third floor. I'm going to head upstairs. I'm going to go into build mode. And we want to get our floor. We're going to place one here. Or replace one here. So we want to place another one right here. And one more right here. These are temporary. So we're going to place our stairway going up. I believe we're going to be able to delete this wall. Place this here. Get our wall back. Boom, just like that. Now we can delete these so we can see down into our lovely nothingness. And we're going to go up here. And we've already have our floor. So boom, boom, boom. Start placing floors all around one layer right here. We're going to do the same thing as that floor. We're going to fill this in with these half floors. And once again, full floors at the end. Alright, this is what you should be looking at so far. I got our first, second, and working on our third floor. So now with our third floor, we're going to put walls all the way around the top, and I'm going to speed that up while I do that. Leave this spot open so you're able to get up. So this is what you should be looking at right here with our third floor. So now I'm up here to our entrance to the third floor. I'm going to remove this for now. I'm going to move this to the center. That way we can be able to place a door frame up here and still be able to get in and out. Alright, so now we're going to fill in our roof here. Just fill in with any floor you want, and I'm going to speed that up while we do that. Alright, so you can place these little platforms out if you need help getting out to reach a further spot. Okay, now this is what you should be looking at here. Kind of symmetrical all the way around, a big open hole in the center, and these little pathways on the side. A door there and a door there, center door here, and the third floor door up there. So not everybody's going to have this fusion generator. It's part of the Vaultec DLC, I believe. So I'm going to use this, but say you don't have this, you can also just place a bunch of these big generators here. It really doesn't take too much power. Another thing you can do is use the wire glitch that I showed earlier. And let's say you can place a whole bunch of these outside. You need a bunch of power, and you connect them to each other, and then do the wire through the wall glitch and just run your power inside. So one thing I'll recommend is if you do place your generators outside, make sure you place something like this that is your main power source. That way you don't get confused on what wires are going where. So when it comes to building the cages on the second floor and the third floor, what I'm going to do is place down these temporary floors. I'm going to slap one here, slap one there, one right there, and one right here. That way we can place our cages correctly. So now we want to go to cages. We want to get our gunner cage. We want to follow this line right here. So you're going to see one line, two line. We want to place it at the second line, about as close to the wall as possible. We're going to come out again so we're about center. And now this one will go center. So see, this is the center pole. You're going to see you're a little away from there. Follow the center pole and place it about center, you know. We can always tweak it later. And we'll place our final cage in this back corner here. Once again, follow the line. The bodies are a little in the way. Follow this line here. Boom. Just like that. And now we can get rid of these floors. And excuse the bodies, but this is what you should be looking at so far for your first and second floor. Repeat that process for your third floor. Now once you have your cages down, one of the things you want to do is connect them all together while we're here. So connect that one with this one, connect them all together, right? Just like that. That way we won't have to worry about that later. Now let's talk about how to power this thing. What we're going to do is go into connectors and switches. I like this blue switch for right here, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3. The first one will be our first floor, second will be our second floor, and third one will be our third floor. And we want to take our main power source, whether it's this generator or connector that you've connected all your power to. I'm just going to press Y to our first switch. And we're going to take our first switch and we want to place a connector right here in this corner, just like this. We want to do the wire through the wall glitch. We can also bring this down a little bit to help us with that. We want to have the wire highlighted, but press connect wire on the connector. So have the wire highlighted, but look at the connector with that little dot and press connect wire. If you've done it correctly, you'll have this invisible wire, and we'll run it through our wall into there. Now it's pretty easy from here. I'm going to take one of these connectors, place it down, connect from here to here, and that should do our lights too. Fantastic. And now let's see if we can reach this cage. And that'll reach our first cage, right? So powered, 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 powered. Okay, so these all have power, right? And what you can do is run this wire up to this. So see that how that's lit up? So that way you know whether you're powered on or not. So if that light is off, these are going to be opening up. So if the light is on, you're good to go. So for our second switch, it's going to be a little more complicated, but not too bad. What we're going to do is run up to the second floor. We're going to find our connectors. And right where your door frame is here, we want to place this right about here at the start of the wall, right? So boom, place it right there, and if you drop down, you're going to see it's right above where your switches are going to be. Now we're going to run a temporary wire from this one to this one, so we can be able to look at the wire. See how the wire is highlighted, but I'm looking at the connector? Press connect wire. Now we have this invisible wire. We're going to run up here, and we're going to connect it right here. Boom. That's all we should have to do with running wires through walls. Now come here and delete your temporary wire, and we go back up. What we want to do is basically repeat what we did on the first floor. We're going to place this here and connect it to right here, and we'll place one in the middle right about here. That should be good. And connect the wire, and same thing, we're going to go from the middle one. Oopsie doodles. Nope. Come here, you. Alright, there it is. Now connect it right here. And these do not have power, but I think that's because our switch is off. Let's double check. So we do have power, I just did not connect the main source of power to our switch. Very important. So now that we have our main power connected to that, we should have power up here. And let's go double check. Look at that, powered, 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 and just to show, we should be able to connect that into here. Now we know that is fully powered. Now if you're wondering where these lights are coming from, I believe those are part of the Vault-Tec DLC, but you're able to get these cycling lights, and you can place them down, change the color, and all that good stuff. So just in case you're wondering where those red lights are coming from. So for our third and final switch, what we want to do is we want to run our main power source into our switch. And we want to go to connectors. We're going to place one up here just like that. We're going to take the switch and run it up to our connector. Now let's run up to the third floor. Once you've made it up here to the third floor, we're going to place another connector right here in the corner, just like the first and second floor. And we're going to go down till we get to the second floor. And we're going to do our wire glitch again here. We want to have the wire highlighted, but not the connector. There we go. Now we got this invisible wire. And we're going to place that right here. And we're going to grab our connector and place it about in the center here. And we're going to run it to right here. And we want to run our final connector into our, look at our cage here. So there we go. Look at that. Now this is what you should be looking like for your cages and power. Everything should be powered up right along the wall in the corner from your switch and into here. Now one last thing I'll recommend is come around here and make sure your cages are placed just where you want them. And one thing I do is I take these metal bars from, I believe it's the Vault-Tec DLC, and I place these in here so they can't go in there and hide from the turrets. That'll prevent them from being able to tuck themselves away so they get nice and shot. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to go up here, and these will snap to here. You can place anything you want to block them from coming back over this way, but I recommend these bars here since they can still kind of get shot through them. And where you've placed these bars, make sure you do the same for the third floor. Now what I recommend is fast traveling to another settlement and waiting for about a day, if not 2 days, for those cages to fill up. That way we can test them out. Okay, so I waited for 2 whole days and I'm going to head back. Now that we're here, we're going to see our cages are full, right? See that? And we're just going to hit the first switch. Make sure they come out. Look at that. Nice, nice. Now we want to make sure our second floor switch is working. Look at that. Check that out. Oh, I love it. So now for the finishing touches on our base, what we can do is we can delete this wall. And let's say we can put a door frame here. So we can actually add more rooms to here. You can even branch off of here and add even more stuff off that way. And if you see the full tour on that place, this place got pretty elaborate, and I'm thinking about continuing working on it. And what we want to do next is we want to go into our, where is it? Crafting, right? We want to be able to place our power armor frame, so in case we want to work on power armor, we can slap that right here. And let's see, we can place our armor bench right there. And where's our weapon bench? We can place our weapon bench right here. Whatever one's your favorite. I'll just use the blue one since it's right there. And now we can scrap armor and scrap weapons that we get from them. So now the last thing you're going to have to do is place turrets down. The more turrets you use, the faster it's going to kill them. You can use any type of turret, but I use the heavy machine gun turret because you don't have to wire it up. If you're going to use turrets that are wired, it's definitely going to take some work to get them wired up. But if you use the machine gun turrets, it does the trick. Once you've placed your turrets down, go ahead and give it a little test. Okay, do that for each floor and make sure everything's working correctly. Once again, I apologize that this video might be a little all over the place, only because I wish everything worked correctly in the VR pod, but I probably should have tested that before making this video. But yeah, that's how to make the base of the slaughterhouse. I hope you found this video useful and maybe it helped you out. But if you made it this far in the video, just know that I really appreciate you. I want to say thanks a lot for watching, and tune in next time.